What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Jacob. I've generated over $500,000 online selling e-commerce products that I've never had to touch, and that's mostly through print on demand. So today's video is going to center around the fundamentals and basics of designing for print on demand, specifically for merch by Amazon, but also for Etsy, Redbubble, Teespring, and any other platform, even your own Shopify store that you're on. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. So as mentioned, guys, this is going to be part one of our do's and don'ts for print on demand design best practices. So this is going to be the fundamentals, the basics, the really bad stuff that could get you kicked off the platform that you definitely don't want to do, and also some of the really good stuff that is fundamental to capturing buyers' attention and actually getting sales on these platforms. So if you stick around to the very end, guys, there's also 2 bonus tips to design faster and create higher quality designs. Both things are going to help you, succeed with print on demand faster, and you're more likely to see success. So guys, this is just part one. You'll want to subscribe if you want to see future parts that we're releasing. And I just want to say really quickly, thank you so much for the first 10 subscribers that we have on this channel. It really means a lot to me because it means that someone out there, 10 people out there actually care about what I have to say. So that's awesome, guys. Pretty soon we're gonna have a package, and we're going to be giving that away to the first 1,000 subscribers, and it's going to be a bunch of retro sunset backgrounds and a niche list, a long compilation of niches that you can use to start selling and get started. And that's only going to be for the first 1,000 subscribers. After that, we're going to be having a giveaway every single week. So yeah, guys, stick around to the very end. There's going to be 2 bonus tips. So let's get started. Do. We're going to start off with a do, and it may seem obvious, but it just needs to be said. You need to choose a bold font that's easy to read. So guys, whenever people are scrolling on Amazon and when people are scrolling on Etsy, they can't buy what they can't read. They can't relate to an emotional message that they can't read. They can't, even just scrolling whenever you're on social media or when you're shopping on Etsy or Amazon, don't you notice that certain listings catch your eye and others just completely, you don't even notice them? It's partially because if you're looking for t-shirts, at least online, what you can read is likely what's going to get clicked. So if your design is bold and easy to read, it's going to get more clicks. And it's not necessarily always the case. You're going to find a few designs here and there that have a harder to read font and less bold fonts, and they still do well. But for most cases, guys, just stick with the bold, easy to read font. It's going to get you more clicks and it's going to get you more sales. So as you can see, this shirt here, do more of what makes you happy. I really love the color scheme they implemented here. This is awesome, and you can see they're getting 137 monthly sales or about 5 daily sales. Tell your cat this shirt's funny. But anyway, as you can see, guys, these shirts are doing very well. In my defense, I was left unsupervised. Just this really bold text on a black shirt is actually a strategy that I've used in the past to scale very quickly. As you can tell, there's no design elements with this. It just says, in my defense, I was left unsupervised. And obviously the first don't is going to be, this hard to read font and cursive fonts and, putting a lot of tiny text on a shirt. When you're scrolling, this kind of stuff just isn't going to do very well. Now, as you'll notice, this one's the Winnie the Pooh one is still getting 60 monthly sales, but guys, that's because they're infringing or they have the rights to sell Winnie the Pooh. That's not because of their font choice. So just keep in mind when I was scrolling, these were some of the shirts that to me, their text was a little too hard to read. They could do better, especially the florist shirt over here on the right. Could do better if it had easier to read, bolder fonts. So moving on, the next thing that I recommend as a design basic, if you're struggling to get sales and to create high quality designs, add a vintage retro sunset background. And these are just 3 examples right here of some vintage backgrounds that you could potentially start using. But if you'll do your own research on Amazon or Etsy, you'll see these sunsets everywhere. And guys, it's really simple to start implementing these into your already existing designs. So you can take a design that doesn't have a background on it yet, slap one of these backgrounds on it, all of a sudden you have 2 designs, or however many you want to make, and it instantly kind of elevates your design to not only stand out on search results, but also it creates a more cohesive t-shirt design. There's some sort of psychology behind this background. Buyers love it. You can even see some of the major big brands using it, like Disney. So do include vintage sunset backgrounds. And as I mentioned, guys, if you are part of the first 1,000 OG subscribers to this community, you will get access to a pack of vintage sunset backgrounds. This is one of the bigger do nots. For this first part 1, this is probably the part you really, really need to pay attention to. Do not do anything political. I don't stand on either side, but I'm just purely speaking from the perspective of merch by Amazon and Etsy. You might get away with it for a little while, but I mean, these political topics are just bombs waiting to blow up, and you might lose access to your account. As far as I know, once you lose access to merch by Amazon, it's pretty much done for. Just don't infringe on any IP and intellectual properties like Disney, movies, TV shows, any of that stuff. I mean, I know you're gonna see some in your research, but what you need to know, guys, is 1, you could lose your account, and also 2, you're not gonna be able to compete against these big brands anymore. They've essentially partnered up with Amazon, and it's much more difficult to even show up for a search term that might be protected by Disney, for example. You wouldn't want to do it in the first place. You're going to get automatically flagged, or even if your shirt is up for a little while, it's going to get taken down eventually, and then your account's going to get banned. So you also do not want to copy designs or listings word for word. Guys, if you do this, you're part of one of the biggest problems in print on demand, which is there are some shady sellers copying designs and reselling them as their own. Don't do that. That's not how you build a successful print on demand business. That's a very short term, make a quick $100 and then leave sort of scenario. I mean, you're never going to be able to. This is one of the greatest opportunities. For merch by Amazon, you don't have to pay anything. You don't even have to put a credit card on file. That's truly free. Some of these other print on demand partners, you're going to have to put a credit card on file because you're going to have to pay for the product whenever someone buys it. And with merch by Amazon, you literally are invited to essentially be on their platform. You don't have to pay anything or do anything really to except follow their rules. And guys, that's all I'm going to say about that. You don't want to ruin it with, it's not worth it. This is a long-term income partnership with Amazon, the biggest e-commerce company in the world. You want to keep that partnership. You don't want to ruin it by throwing in some, questionable designs. So that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around to the very end. This is going to be bonus tip number 1. So I recommend, for creating higher quality designs and for speeding up your design process so that you can get more designs up for sale, I highly recommend using tools like Placelt, Canva, and Rawpixel. So first, let's go over Placelt and Canva. I like to describe them as a print-on-demand seller's best friends, and the reason being is because these tools they're databases and repositories for graphic design images that you can use. Other artists have already created these designs, and if you can either add some sort of unique background to it, or add some unique text, or change the color scheming, or there's all kinds of things that you can do. Take these elements that someone else has already made and scale from there. Like take that. Don't try and spend all day creating one design when you can go to Placeit or Canva and use a whole collection of design assets and create 10, 15, 20 designs in one day or more. And then guys, Rawpixel. Don't underestimate Rawpixel. So I'm going to go into a deeper video on this later, but real quick overview of it. Basically, there are certain images that are basically in the Creative Commons database, which just means anyone can use them. They've either expired, their copyright and their trademark is either expired, or someone has just donated them to be used or Creative Commons images, or so you can use these designs free commercially with no author permission or attribution. And you can use these on shower curtains, on notebooks, even t-shirts. If you got creative, you could find a way to use these. But these aren't your average graphic design assets. These are paintings and amazing artistic creations from the 1800s, and all of these incredible pieces of art that you can actually put on print-on-demand products and sell. And it's 100% legal, and you don't have to pay anyone, you don't have to give credit to anyone. I highly recommend including the artist in the listing description and in your tags, because people are going to search for certain artists. But there's nothing, no one owns the rights to those images, and Rawpixel helps you find all of those images and helps you download the highest quality image that you can, so you could use it with your print-on-demand business. And those are just a few ways and a few tools that you can use to scale faster with higher quality designs. And bonus tip number 2, niche swapping. So this also might seem kind of obvious, but I'm going to throw it out there. Guys, you need to be creating designs that, if you want to scale quickly, you need to be creating designs that you can interchange with other niches. So my example here is just a girl who loves tigers could easily be changed into just a girl who loves lizards, just a girl who loves lions. Like, there's all kinds of, you could create 100 niches just from this one design if you save it as a template, and then go in and swap out the graphic really quickly, swap out the text, change the font if you want to. But essentially, you can be in 100 different niches really quickly, but only make one true original design. So, guys, the name of this game is essentially scaling. You might be limited if you're stuck in tier 10 or tier 25 with Merch by Amazon. You might be kind of limited on what you can do. But on Etsy, for example, you're not limited. So I just highly recommend creating, making it easier for yourself to create designs and to scale your business, because why recreate a design every single time you're gonna upload to these platforms? Create templates for yourself, and create workflows and systems that are going to work for you and going to help you scale your print-on-demand business. Well, that concludes part 1 of our print-on-demand best practices and fundamentals. So part 2 is going to expand on this video a little bit more. We're going to go into other ways that we ensure that our designs are going to stand out on the search page and get more sales, get more clicks. And we'll also go over some more stylized design choices that some sellers decide to use that definitely sells well. So we're going to be going into another part of this soon. I just didn't want this video to get too long. So subscribe, like this video if you got value, and comment below. I love hearing from the community. I would love to answer your questions as best as I can. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, have a great day and create something amazing.